I want to speak to you just for a couple of minutes about something called anticipating the counterattack. And it really came out of my own experience and talking to a few of the friends, how sometimes you get a victory, you see fruitfulness. It could be in a marriage situation, in a job situation, in your work life, in your ministry, in your personal calling with God. You suddenly overcome some obstacles and you're doing really well, and then all of a sudden out of the blue somewhere you hit like a really downtime, and the defeat comes again, tough times come again. And I've realized that life is full of counterattacks by the enemy against our lives. I came across two verses and I want to read them to you very quickly. 1 Kings 20 verse 13 and then verse 22. And God spoke this to King Ahab through a prophet. He says, "This is what the Lord says. Do you see this vast army? I will give it into your hand today, and then you will know that I am the Lord." And then God goes on and he gives them victory, and it's wonderful. But just a few verses later, in verse 22, 9 verses later, afterwards a prophet came to the king of Israel and said, "Strengthen your position and see what must be done, because next spring the king of Aram will attack you again." In other words, you've got victory now, you've reached the next level, but be really careful. Strengthen your position and see what must be done, because he's going to try and attack you again. And many Christians I meet get confused because they think, I thought I'd overcome this. But you've got to realise, whatever you did to get victory, you must continue to do to sustain victory. We relax, we forget we're in a war. I want to remind you, until the day we get to heaven, we are in a battle zone. And we've got to keep our armour on, we've got to keep fighting and anticipate the counterattack that the enemy tries to bring. So I encourage you to stay close to Jesus, anticipate the enemy. The Bible tells us, be careful of your enemy, the devil, who prowls around like a roaring lion. If you're careful, if you resist him, you can continue to grow from level to level to level, rather than be confused by counterattack.